Bought my dream car at 18 and got crashed 3 weeks after buying it. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Amari, and I'm back with another bomb video. As you guys seen by the title, for today's video I'm going to be doing a story time. Y'all, this is a long awaited video, so let me think. This was like a 2-3-year-old story time. I think it's 2 years, I don't know, but I'm gonna be inserting pictures and evidence so y'all can see like what was really going on, so it'll be like an interesting story time instead of me just talking. I'm using the mic today because I got a background, so I don't want y'all to hear what they talking about. So I'm gonna be talking in the mic. But we're just gonna jump right into this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you comment down below more videos that you want to see on my channel. So we're gonna start from my perspective of this story time. So this is the story time of my car accident. As y'all know, some people might know, some people might not know. Y'all finna get all the details now. So I'm gonna start from my perspective of what happened, and then we can start from my mom's perspective, and then the other drivers in the car, their perspective. I'm not gonna be saying no names. If you watching and you was in the accident, then you just know like it's you. But I ain't gonna be saying nobody's name or nothing. Okay, we can start with me buying the car, y'all. This is it wasn't my very first car. I got a car when I was 16. So this is my very first car when I was 18 that I bought by myself, like fully all by myself. So y'all, it was, I'm gonna be using my computer because y'all want to see the pictures, and I want to know like if I'm, I want to be date by date and telling the truth and everything. So I'm gonna go in my little photos real quick. I had took all my savings. So when I turned 18, I had it was either $25,000 or $23,000 like to myself to like do whatever I wanted to do with it. And I knew I didn't want to spend all my money on the car, but y'all, the car that I had when I was 16 ended up, I'm so out of breath like I'm fat. The car when I was 16, I ended up doing some crazy stuff or whatever and ended up not having it no more. So that happened. It got totaled, whatever. Cool. So I ended up buying me a car because I think I crashed the white Lexus when I was 17. And like a year or 6 months later, I ended up buying me another one. So I'm trying to find the photo, y'all, when I bought it. Oh my God, that's so ghetto.
12 seconds later.
So I ended up buying my car July 2021, I believe. And I didn't have credit at the time because I had just turned 18. So I had to put $17,000 down. I just was happy that I didn't have to put all my savings down. So I ended up putting that money down, getting approved for the Lexus, buying a Lexus, da-da-da-da. My payments was cheap, y'all, because I put so much money down. Like, that was, like, half of what the car was worth or whatever. So my payments was cheap. Everything was good. This was about my first car I got when I was 16, y'all. My mom had me on the insurance. Like, I didn't know nothing about insurance and all that. So this car, they told me that I needed insurance. So I went through Progressive, whatever. My mom ended up setting up my insurance. She did like the cheapest route or whatever, but she didn't know that it wasn't full coverage. So my car wasn't fully covered. Keep that in mind, y'all. So it was only like, I guess, liability. So if I was to crash somebody, boom, they're going to pay for that. But if somebody was to crash my car, they not paying for that. Like, I didn't have nothing set up for that, which I should have because I didn't even have the car for a month, guys. Like, keep that in mind. So I ended up buying the Lexus, whatever. As soon as I bought the Lexus, this was during the time that I was taking trips. So me and my friend was like just spending money, taking trips. So we had ended up going to Miami. We got stuck out in Miami because of a hurricane. So we was out there for like 2 whole weeks. I think it was like Musty, is you burning the house down? So it was like 3 days after I bought my car, we ended up taking a 2-week trip. So I didn't drive my car at all. Like, I drove my car for 2 days. That's it. I come back from my trip. I'm just taking joy-wise, like, feeling the car. Like, y'all, this is my dream car. I bought it at 18. I was loving it, trying to take it on joy-wise just to spend time in it. So I was just taking on joyrides. Anytime somebody would call me to go somewhere, I was going somewhere, I would just wanted to drive my car, My boyfriend at the time had called me to come over. But my mama had wanted me to babysit. And this is so crazy because I like, I don't want to say I begged my mom, but I basically like was like stern on leaving the house, which I shouldn't have left the house, but I was stern on leaving the house. So I told my mama, ended up telling my big sister to babysit, and my mama ended up going out or whatever. I think she went to go work out or whatever, and I ended up leaving to go see him. And I was 18 at the time, but I still had a curfew, so my mama knew like she was gonna lock the door. I knew my mom was gonna lock the doors at 12, or I have to spend a night, and I didn't plan on spending the night. I had no bag or nothing, so she was gonna lock the doors at 12. So it was like it was like 10:30, and I already drive fast, but I was driving fast. Like it was like 11. I don't know if it was 11 or I don't know, but it was like getting close to my curfew time. So I was just driving fast. I really don't remember, like, the car accident was so bad that I didn't even know that I got in a car accident. Like, I just woke up in the hospital, basically. This is my perspective, so I'm not going to tell y'all what actually happened because I was blacked out, obviously. So I wake up in the hospital. My leg, I can't feel my leg. I'm like, I wake up. So this part, I wake up. I'm going to give y'all my mom perspective, too, because apparently I was conscious before that. But this is all I remember is waking up and couldn't feel my leg, my foot, nothing. Like, I was trying to move. Because you wake up, you trying to move your limbs. Like, you in the hospital, you really uncomfortable with what's going on. So I'm trying to move my leg, my foot. And I'm like, Mom, like, why I can't move my leg? So the nurse come in. She like, oh, you're up finally. Da-da-da. Your next surgery will be tomorrow. You just had 3 surgeries or whatever she said. And I'm like, okay. She's like, you gonna have to learn how to walk on your what? I don't want to say the wrong leg, y'all. Left leg. She's like, you'll have to relearn how to walk on your left leg. You're gonna be in a wheelchair for 3 months. This, and that. So I'm like, what happened? Like, and my mom was like, you don't know what happened? Like, you don't remember? And I guess I had a mild concussion or whatever it was. But yeah, I didn't remember nothing, y'all. I didn't know I was in no accident. I didn't feel no pain. That's what make me think, y'all, I feel like when we die, we not gonna feel it. Like, however we die, if it's crazy, I feel like we not gonna feel it. Because I didn't feel nothing. Like, I don't remember no pain. I don't remember getting hit by a car. None of that. So, she get to telling me all that. My mom like, you don't remember? She like, you got in a car accident. So, my first instinct, because this was only my 3rd time driving the car ever since I got back from my 2-week trip. So, my first instinct is like, what happened to my car? Like, what it look like? I'm like, is my car good? Like, what? She like, it's total. Total? After I done spent $17,000 on this car, it's total. Like, no more. So my mom, I guess when I was in the hospital, like when they was waiting on me to wake up or whatever, she was doing the insurance claim or whatever, and they found out, like, I only had liability. Like, they couldn't. If we would have had the right insurance, which is full coverage, I would have got what the car is worth, which was like $35,000. For a new car, and I would have got my car paid off. That wasn't happening. We wasn't getting no money. You know how you get in a car accident, somebody hits you, it's not your fault, you getting paid? No, this is not the case. Like, this is not the case at all. So I didn't really get paid. They had gave me money for my medical bills. That was about it, because I believe that's what we had on the insurance too. They had gave me money for my medical bills or whatever. I had ended up taking the rest of my savings, and, like, I don't know if my mom helped me or what, but we ended up paying the car off, because, even if your car is total, you can't drive, you still got to pay it off. Like, whatever the rest was, you still had to pay it off. So I think I owed like $15,000 on the car, so we ended up paying that off, whatever. And so, yeah, we ended up doing that. I was just so stressed and depressed. Like, I was in the hospital for, I say, about 2 weeks. I was so depressed. Most of it was my car, which is, like, material thing. Like, I should have been sad that I was in a car accident and happy that I'm alive. But I was depressed for, like, 2 weeks. Coming home, I even was more depressed. Like, I got my wheelchair and stuff. Well, they had me a little longer in the hospital because I had to wait on a wheelchair and all this. And we was going through something at the time where I had just turned 18, so we didn't have medical insurance at the time, so everything was, like, super high. Like, my bill, the medical bill, everything was so overwhelming at 18 that I was so super depressed. Like, the medical bills, I think I owed them, like, $230,000, and they was still planning surgery, so I still had to pay, and I was going to therapy. I remember I couldn't get in therapy because I didn't have insurance. Now I'm good. I got insurance, whatever, we good. God worked it out. But I was so sad and depressed. Like, I remember going home and, like, our house is not made for no wheelchair house. So that the guy had to get the he had to make it to where I could get in the house with my wheelchair, basically. So he made this little thing in the garage for me, which was nice. Like, everybody was helping out, being nice. My mom, I don't know if it was my mom or me, but made a GoFundMe. We got money to pay. What did we pay? The insurance, because we owed the insurance at the time because I was in the hospital, so I didn't pay my insurance that month or whatever, because I think it was a new month. So, yeah, I think everybody that helped out during that sad time. But yeah, I remember coming home looking at all my mail, and it was just bills after bills after bills saying that I owed, and I had just started my credit. So it was like so sad. And then I was like sad and depressed because I'm like, now all of this stuff is gonna hurt my credit or whatever. But yeah, I ended up getting my credit up, thanks to God again, paying everything off. Everything worked in my favor. Our house wasn't made for a wheelchair, so it was just like I couldn't shower. I couldn't, like, do normal duties. I couldn't sleep in my bed. I was uncomfortable sleeping on the couch. Like, I was so, and then my mom, them, they always ran. Like, they wasn't people that sat in the house. So they was running, and I was just in the house in my wheelchair, sad. That made me get on my stuff. Like, even though I wasn't in therapy, once I went to my physical therapist and she was telling me how to taught me how to stand up, I ain't gonna lie, as soon as she taught me how to stand up, y'all, it was over for that. Like, I was teaching myself how to walk. I was watching videos every day. I was progressing. So I wasn't in the wheelchair for 3 months, like she said. I was in there for, like, I say 1.5 or 2 months at the most. I was in a wheelchair. I got out the wheelchair on my own because I didn't want to stay in a wheelchair. And after the wheelchair, we went to the walker. Then eventually we went to crutches. And then I was in a boot for, like, a long time. I was in a boot. Because it was, the reason I had to be in a wheelchair, y'all, because it was my opposite foot and my opposite femur. So I broke my femur in half. I broke all my toe bones in my right foot, which is the driver foot. And I had a gash, like, cut opening that had to get sewed up in my leg. So the actual car accident, we could talk about that now. Yeah, I remember my mom being on the bed next to me. She was like, you know who hit you? It was so-and-so daughter, because I guess she knew the parents of the people who hit me. So she like, it was so-and-so daughter. I'm like, for real? Like, what? I don't know. Everything was just crazy. It was just like a sad, depressing area in my life or whatever. Yeah, God ended up blessing me. I ended up buying another car as soon as I started walking, which is something I shouldn't have did because it's really not the car that I desired, but it's something that gets me to and from, and I thank God for that still. But yeah, as soon as I started walking, I ended up buying me a car. Again, 2 cars in 1 year. Crazy. My perspective of it, so when I was on the way home, obviously I didn't make curfew, so my mom blowing my phone up. Where are you, little girl? What are you doing? Da 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 da. And whole time the police had to call her and tell her, like, your daughter was in a fatal accident. Like, you know, she was in a fatal accident and we got her here at the hospital. So she sped up to the hospital middle of the night and sat beside my bed. I'm gonna show y'all the pictures of what she got. And she said she was crying and was like, she said I kept saying, okay, so they had me on drugs, like, to stop the pain and, like, amnesia, to, like, basically put me to sleep. But I guess I was waking up out of it and talking. And she said I kept saying, I can't move my leg. I want to move my leg. And my mom like, you can't move your leg. Like, your leg's broke. Like, sit down. So that was happening from her perspective. And then, yeah, I had got into surgery and all that. And that went how it went. And yeah, I thank the doctors and Kenosha for sending me to Milwaukee, because Milwaukee did what they had to do. The whole overall perspective, so the car accident, I got hit from somebody was on a high-speed chase, and they went up the street the wrong way. And me personally, I'm thinking, like, I know how I drive. Like, I automatically drive crazy. So if I see something, I'm going to instantly swerve out the way. So I'm thinking, why didn't I swerve out the way? Like, why did we ended up being a head-on collision, you know? So one of the guys that was in the car accident had told me, okay, so they all had ended up going to jail. And I don't know, my best friend at the time was cousins with one of the persons who went to jail and was in a car accident. So he would be calling her and stuff, and, like, he'd be, like, talking to me. He had apologized or whatever and was like, yeah, we sorry, whatever. And he was telling me, like, how it went, because I didn't know how it went. You know, I blacked out during it. So he was like, yeah, he wasn't driving. They was coming up the street this way, and you try to swerve out of our way, but we try to swerve out your way, and we ended up hitting each other. So we both trying to swerve out of each other's way and went the same way and hit each other, basically how it happened. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm glad to know that I wasn't just being a dummy and drove into the car. Like, at least I knew because I know how I drive. So I'm like, I know I had to have tried to get out the way or something. So that's what he said or whatever. And then, yeah, so they ended up coming. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I don't know how the police say that, but, like, came up this way and that way and ended up hitting each other head on. They was going full speed because they trying to run from the cops. I personally drive fast, so I know I was driving fast, so I know the accident was crazy. The police said the front of the car was literally in my lap. Like, that's how bad it was. And that's why my femur bone, which is the thigh bone, split in half. And then my driver foot, we know why. I had on Crocs, so we know why all my bones broke in my foot. I still get, not surgeries, but doctor's appointments for this foot to this day. Like, it still give me pain. Tomorrow I got to go get steroids for arthritis, which is bringing me pain also. So I might bring y'all along with me for that if this video not too long. But I think that's really it. Like, that's really what happened. The driver, me and him, like, I don't want to say we grew up with each other, but me and the driver, like, we know each other when we was little kids, because his best friend, I used to date his best friend, so he would always be around. He'd always be around. So he ended up apologizing to me too. We don't have a relationship to this day, but he ended up apologizing. You know, you gotta forgive. The only reason I was really sad and depressed was for my car, but I mean, like, I have a new car. Like, it wasn't that serious. Like, I am personally happy that I'm alive, because so many people, like this TikToker I watched had the same car accident I had. Like, somebody was drunk driving and went up the street the wrong way, hit him, and he died. So I'm happy I didn't die. That's what I'm happy for. I'm happy for my mom's support and getting me back walking and up and out, you know, not being lazy. And I think everybody else that's supporting me during our sad time. But yeah, I think that's really it. That's all to the story time. I insert pictures of the car. The car was horrible. Like, the whole side, it was really, my side was horrible. The whole side looked like a normal car. The back looked like a normal car. It's just the front and where I was at, horrible. Tore up. But yeah, y'all, so that's really it. I'm gonna insert pictures and stuff, everything. I'm back healed now. Only thing that really causes me pain is my foot. But yeah, that's really it. I bought my dream car at 18 and got crashed 3 weeks after buying it. But that's all for today's video. Make sure I give this video a big thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all got another story time that I want to share with y'all that's going to be so cool. Let me know if y'all want that story time too. It's when my parents caught me and my boyfriend in the house. Wow. Y'all want to see that one? I don't know. But make sure y'all subscribe to my channel and like this video.